Something huge is happening right now, a fundamental shift in how we build our entire world. We're taking some of our most critical infrastructure off of solid ground and moving it out onto the open water.
Okay, so think about this for a second. One is totally digital, abstract, it lives up in the cloud, right? The other is physical, it's immediate, it's literally powering the room you're in. What on earth could possibly connect those two things?
Well, the answer is that the solution to some of our biggest problems on land, from our data to our energy, isn't about finding more land. It's all about the ocean.
All right, first up, let's talk about data. We are creating and consuming it at a rate that is truly mind-boggling. And every single photo, every video, every byte has to live somewhere. And that somewhere is a data center. And we are just plain running out of space and resources to build them. The sheer scale of this is just staggering. McKinsey is projecting that by 2030, global data center capacity could hit 219 gigawatts. Now, to put that in perspective, we're at about 60 gigawatts today. That means we have to build more capacity in the next few years than we have in the entire history of data centers combined.
And these things, they aren't just hungry for power and space, they are incredibly thirsty. In the United States alone, conventional data centers drink up about 1.7 billion liters of precious fresh water every single day for cooling. And a lot of times, that's happening in states that are already facing serious droughts.
And do you know what they say? Follow the money. According to Statista, investment in data centers is on track to explode to $406 billion by 2025. This isn't some niche little problem. It's a massive global industry that's hitting a major wall. So, if we're running out of land, running out of fresh water, and constantly needing more power, where do we go? Well, the answer is kind of brilliant. You take the data centers out to sea.
So what exactly is a floating data center? It's pretty much what it sounds like. You take a big barge, or maybe an old ship you're not using anymore, you pack it full of servers, and then you use the natural water it's floating in to keep everything cool. It's such a simple idea, but it's absolutely revolutionary.
And the advantages? Oh, they are compelling. First off, they're super flexible. You can basically park one at any port that has the right power and fiber optic connections. Second, they totally solve that land scarcity problem, especially for dense countries like Japan or Singapore. Third, and this is a huge one, they use seawater for cooling, which means they use zero fresh water. And finally, by repurposing old ships, you can get them built cheaper and way faster.
And listen, this isn't just some theory or a crazy idea for the future. It's already happening all over the globe. In the US, a company called Nautilus has a data center on a barge in a California river. Over in Japan, MOL is converting an old car carrier. And in China, they're even testing out a fully submerged computing center on the seabed. This innovation is happening right now. So, finding a new place to put all our data is a massive step forward. But that data and everything else in our modern lives needs an incredible amount of energy.
And that brings us to the other great challenge of our time, right? How do we generate massive amounts of clean, sustainable electricity? Well, it turns out the ocean might just hold the answer to that too. So we're shifting from storing our data on the water to harvesting energy from above it. And the scale of what's possible with offshore wind, it's just hard to wrap your head around.
And there is no better example of this than the newly approved Berwick Bank project, just off the coast of Scotland. This thing isn't just another wind farm, it's an absolute behemoth.
The numbers really tell the story here. With a planned capacity of 4.1 gigawatts, Berwick Bank is set to blow past the current champion, Dogger Bank, and become the largest offshore wind farm on the entire planet. So what does 4.1 gigawatts actually mean in the real world? It means this single project, just one, will generate enough clean electricity to power more than 6 million homes in the UK every single year. That's enough to power every home in Scotland twice. And the benefits here go way beyond just clean energy. A project of this magnitude is a massive economic engine. We're talking about creating thousands of jobs, with almost half of them right there in Scotland, and pumping over £8 billion into the economy over its lifetime. The developers SSC Renewables, they put it perfectly. They said this isn't just a win for their company. A project like Berwick Bank is of national importance. It's a cornerstone for the UK's energy security and its clean energy goals for decades to come. Okay, so let's zoom out and bring these two big stories together. On one hand, you have floating data centers solving our land and water problems. On the other, you have these giant offshore wind farms solving our energy crisis. What we're seeing here is a really powerful pattern emerging.
This right here is the core idea. For two of our absolute biggest land-based problems, data storage and clean energy, the most promising scalable solutions are being found out at sea. We're basically trading land scarcity for ocean abundance.
This really marks a fundamental change in how we even think about the sea. I mean, for centuries, it was basically just a big, flat surface we used to get from point A to point B.
But now it's becoming the very foundation on which we build our future. It's our new real estate for the essential systems that are going to power the 21st century.
And that just leaves us with this one fascinating question to think about. If we can move our data and our power generation offshore, what's next? Floating farms, floating cities? The possibilities, well, they're as vast and as open as the ocean itself.